So hello again, Tim Krueger, President and CEO of PEI. I'm here to talk to you about the second megatrend. We gave a presentation not too long ago, and we had three megatrends. This is the second one in the list. The second trend that we're seeing as an organization has to do with the consumerization of IT. And what I mean by that is the advent and the adoption of consumer-driven technologies into the business workspace. So things that we can think about, and I'm sure you all have seen or have brought to the office yourself, would include things like smartphones, tablets like the iPad, other types of touch devices, the integration of whole house systems, and the use of app stores to bring applications into the business environment. Basically what this is doing is generating a scenario called device sprawl. What we're seeing is that historically organizations would have one device per employee, maybe a notebook or a desktop computer. At this point in time, we're seeing a fairly common scenario of having 2, 3, 4 devices per employee. There's a concept called bring your own device that has received a lot of spin in the industry. And this concept of BYOD is definitely encroaching on traditional IT. Employees are bringing in non-PC devices, and they're expecting connectivity and throughput and performance, much like a device that might have been provided for them, a notebook or a desktop, for their everyday use. They're expecting these devices to run properly behind the firewall. They're expecting some level of security. Certainly, policy and security management within an organization are keenly aware and concerned about this device sprawl coming into their company. One of the big impacts that's occurring is IT is asking to support these non-traditional devices, and there isn't always the best practices that have been developed or policies that have been developed within organizations around these devices coming in. So with that in mind, corporations are faced with policy, security, and added expense to support these customers and their applications. Cloud resources are also decentralizing IT budgets and having an effect on decision making. We're seeing more organizations where the IT purchase decisions are occurring outside of the IT department. They're occurring in line of business, such as in sales and marketing and human resources. These business units are procuring their own platforms, their infrastructure, and software as a service, and are asking IT to make sure it's integrated into their environment. What we're hearing right now is that 30% of tech spending is currently outside of IT control, and that based on some Gartner research that we've read, by the year 2020, they expect that the IT spending outside of IT is going to be somewhere between 80 and 90%. That obviously has a huge impact on the relevance and the role of IT in most organizations. IT is no longer going to lead purchases, but IT has the opportunity to be increasingly active in the support and integration of these technologies in the corporate environment. What we're also seeing is because these decentralized spending events are occurring, that organizations may actually be spending more money without centralized IT controlling costs and subscriptions. Each department is being permitted to go out and source their own technologies and resources. The added combination of those costs is exceeding traditional IT budgets in a lot of organizations. So some of the impacts that we're seeing out there, system and network administration obviously is highly impacted. Licensing is a major concern. In some cases, like Microsoft, with their new licensing models, 5 devices are supported on an active Office 365 license. In other technologies that are out there, it may be 1 license per device, and that's going to add cost. Security is a major concern, both in terms of if devices are lost or stolen, and also in terms of the control and protection of wireless and wired networks. And then finally, network performance is obviously impacted. If we're seeing 2, 3, 4 devices per employee being used in an organization, the impact on wireless, remote, and cloud resources is going to continue to increase, and organizations are going to need to plan for that. So some of the roadmaps that we would suggest and that we're active in with our customers would include BYOD strategies and budgeting, actually sitting down and setting policy and having a game plan for organizations. Scaling networks and bandwidth is also extremely important. Storage requirements. These new devices aren't always going to be running in the cloud, and they are going to require some storage resources within your organization. Hybrid cloud design, when you're bringing part in from the cloud and you're running resources internally, you're talking about a substantive change within the organization and your server storage and network architecture. System management and managed services are another major category. You're talking about expanding the role of your IT department to support a broader number of devices and a broader list of different types of devices. And then finally, the last piece that we're involved in quite heavily is in asset and license management strategies. So with those things in mind, there's a lot of things that can be done, but it is going to require organizations to think outside the box or away from traditional thought. PEI has been active and involved with organizations for years with these concepts. If you'd like to find out more information, I would suggest contacting us. You can get our information from www.pei.com. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.